Rembrandt Rockefeller for Solving European Sleep Systems. If you've been mattress shopping lately, then you know the stores around here are pretty much all the same, with the same mix of brands and models, not to mention all the confusing pricing. But there's one mattress store in town that's very different. It's Solving European Sleep Systems. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep, custom tailored for a vastly more comfortable fit with a full 10-year non-prorated warranty. Get your money's worth. European quality and components at Made in America prices. Solving European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for being a part of this radio broadcast. I am very happy that you are here because something very confusing has been going on. It's called Trade Promotion Authority, and it's called the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The two together are called Obama Trade. It is very confusing insofar as part of Obama Trade, is so secret, no one, except for selected few people in the Congress and so on, have even gotten a look at it. That means you and me are in the dark, and once again, they have to pass it before we can find out what's inside it. Does that make you comfortable? Me neither. But fortunately, Congressman Pete Sessions, who happens to be the chairman of the House Rules Committee, is a friend of the Wells Report. And you know what that means? That means that when we need an explanation from a complete stone expert, we get one. From the Texas 30-second, Congressman Pete Sessions on the Wells Report. And he has his own theme song.
Absolutely.
Welcome back.
And a good one, too.
Indeed, sir. Welcome back to the Wells Report. I have been, like a lot of Tea Party conservatives, I've been looking at this and I've been going, what is going on in Washington, D.C.? So the Democrats...
And you know, it even sounds bad, doesn't it?
It does. It's terrible. Because on one hand, I mean, you know, it took me a while to figure out what was going on. Because I guess I was slow on the uptake, Congressman. But the thing that I have found is that once I started paying attention to a little bit about what was happening here, things began to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, for example, like this Trade Promotion Authority, the Congress still gets an up-down vote on anything that the president comes up with. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. The other thing is that we were in a situation here where the president is working on this Trans-Pacific Partnership, and a lot of that has to be secret. But then, so it all came down to me to another problem the president has created on his own, which is that he has blown his trust with the American people. The American people do not want to see Congress pass another bill that we have to pass to be able to find something out about it. It makes us all epically nervous. And so I'm hoping you're going to be able to clear some of that stuff up for us.
You've just been the most transparent, thoughtful person about this. You're asking for common sense guidance on what the heck is going on.
Exactly.
Well, what the heck is going on is that from before the President Bush left, he had negotiated several trade agreements with Congress, and they were South American countries, and it was in Korea. And what we have done is cut these couple deals that are great deals. You've not heard a lot about them. They're working. They work fine. The bottom line is that of the last 100 or so trade agreements that have been cut around the globe, which is where by and large two countries get together and they decide, we want to have an equal relationship with each other. We want to give you our goods and services, and you want to give us your goods and services so that they're available. And we will lower tariffs, which are taxes, so that you can bring your country goods in, and we'll do the same here. That's by and large the relationship. Well, the people that have been doing all these are the Chinese. And the Chinese really operate differently than we do. no doubt.
Well,
And what the
they manipulate their currency, and that is the great big wild card that makes any agreement with the Chinese mainly more of a trap than an actual agreement.
and there's more. They steal and
Patents.
take intellectual property and actual properties and make them their own. That's what they've done with America. They take our American products. We have what's called favored nation status with them, and that is that they take our items, cell phones, all sorts of things, pharmaceuticals, and they just simply make their own things, go and sell them. They do not pay the royalties. They do not respect intellectual property. So the Chinese have been cutting deals all around the globe, mostly with African and South American countries, whereby the Chinese can go and take all this technology that they have stolen from around the world, reproduce it in China, and then sell it at a reduced price around the globe, which provides them an incredible amount of strong currency. So what the United States is doing is that we know that Barack Obama, through Nancy Pelosi, what's called turned off. They turned off the ability to be able to go do these trade deals because Democrats don't like them.
Right.
They're controversial to Democrats. And so we, when we won the House and the Senate back, said we would like to have a trade deal that the president would go and negotiate, but he has to follow the rules that we as Congress put in place. There are some 160 separate piece parts that the president must fall back and negotiate with. For instance, we've added a couple here just last night, yesterday in the Rules Committee, that he cannot negotiate climate change in any of the trade bills that we do. He cannot change any of the laws related to immigration and visas. He cannot go in and negotiate 150 some, almost to 160 different piece parts, up to and including steel and certain agricultural products. So we're telling the president, here's how you go negotiate. Now, the countries that we have problems with, mostly, the best example is China. The second one is Japan. We do not have a trade deal with those two countries. We have a terrible disadvantage, even though consumers in America get probably a good deal at Walmart or Costco or somewhere else buying these products from overseas, but we are held out of their markets, Japan, China, and they steal our products, China. And so what we're trying to do is to tell the president, please go cut a deal, because in the 20 trade agreements we have a surplus, trade surplus of $10 billion last year. So a trade agreement is in America's best interest. Well, along comes TPA, Trade Promotion Authority, which tells the president, you have the authority to go do it, and here are the rules of the game. And we give them the rules of the game because he will go and negotiate in Europe, and he will negotiate in South America. But the most leading edge place he'll do it is what's called TPP, Trans-Pacific, and that is Asia. So, just like anything else, you've got somebody that wants to go and negotiate, and you're negotiating with them. You don't put all the information about the negotiation until you come up with an agreement. And that's where you were normal and regular and said, boy, I can see that. But why are we holding it, and when will it become public? Well, the facts of the case are there's nothing actually negotiated. We've told them the parameters within the negotiate. And when a deal is cut under TPP or any of these agreements, it comes back to Congress. By the way, we can be negotiators with and watch what goes on and be privy to the negotiations, but any deal must be publicly available for 60 days before a vote.
Okay. All right. So, and once again, there is an up down, and there is some oversight from the Congress. And so
You bet.
we, the people of the United States, are still involved in all of this, regardless of whether or not we trust President Obama or not.
Well, we don't.
Well, we don't. You're exactly
And you're
right.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. And we can go in the negotiations, and these other countries, because we'll send them a letter to say, we're not going to approve any deal that does the following things. So they know that. That's the advantage.
I see. So
They'll
basically
know they aren't going to cut a deal, because why would they put their country, their parliament or Congress through something if they didn't trust us?
Exactly. Now, there were a couple of things. Jeff Sessions, for example, is objecting to the fact, Senator Jeff Sessions from Alabama.
Dear friend of mine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, he is.
Well, I bet.
We share the same last name.
Yep.
We get each other's mail. but in fact, in this regard, he has taken a little bit different position, and you have seen he first talked about immigration.
Yes.
Well, there is nothing about immigration in the bill. So what happened? We came and added a provision in the House that strengthened what was already there, because a lot of people said there's nothing in there. So we added it to make sure, and you cannot change anything or add it to the bill. Okay. Then Jeff Sessions said, okay, well, there's really something more. Okay, what is that? Well, that is that they're going to be a part of a what might be termed as a bilateral, or a group of countries that get together to form a new, we could say GATT, or a way to look at ensuring that the rules are followed. Or you could even say maybe something that would be a larger trade agreement with a bunch of countries. That's not the impact. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to empower ourselves to do individual trade agreements with individual nations. And so while it could be in there, it does not apply to us.
I see.
We recognize that others will have these trade agreements, like Europe. They have their own relationships, and many people across the Far East have these agreements. We're not privy to those.
Right, exactly.
So let's not say something that really isn't going to happen.
Well, the European Union is what you're discussing. You're talking about
EU?
the Eurozone. It became the Eurozone, basically a trade pact among the countries that turned into, well, Europa, if for all intents and purposes. And I don't understand why the senator is so concerned about trans-Pacific nations doing the exact same thing. It seems to me that it would be very, very smart if they could do something like that. And oh, by the way, in the bargain, simplifying the world trade situation, if indeed we can get all of these people to follow international law with regards to intellectual property and so on and so forth, which brings me to this question.
Which would be an advantage. But by the way, the EU is going under.
Yeah, they're having troubles.
Yeah, they're having a tough time.
Yeah, they're fighting with each other. Let me ask you
this.
this.
They gave up their own sovereignty for the security.
Yeah.
And they have neither.
Let me ask you a little bit about some other things that are going on. So you're concerned, no, you're sure that this might be, and these people have been doing this for a long time. I'm talking about stealing our patents and so on.
Yeah.
This might work. How confident are you that it will work?
I am confident enough to know that the countries which we're talking about doing our trading partnership with are not China.
Yeah.
Is not China.
Uh-huh.
And if we let China own the world or do not compete with them, they will own the world. These are smaller countries without that ability. And China openly thumbs their nose at international law. And so I would just say, let the people who will abide by the rules get together. And it's in our best interest to do that. And they form a stronger relationship with us. Now, it also has to do with jobs. Jobs are the important attribute, and we are growing jobs. Look at Texas as an example.
Sure.
And that's what it's about.
It's like
where you are involved, where trade is involved, your paycheck is 38% higher.
1 out of every 5 American jobs, for a total of 38.1 million jobs,
right.
are supported by trade.
That's right.
Okay, and that's what you're discussing here. Trade
All
jobs.
right. And when you work for a company like TI or American Airlines
Sure.
or something, they pay better. That's right.
Yep. There was one other thing that sort of got shown up in the dust up, and that was some trouble with Paul Ryan and a couple of your dear friends, Michael Burgess, for example, from the Texas 26th, et cetera. There seemed to be a little bit of some confusion about whether or not the Obama administration was going to take advantage of what was perceived as some serious loopholes. One of them you've addressed already in immigration.
Yeah.
So
Michael Burgess is one of the most savvy, thoughtful, articulate guys in Congress, period. I've said this for years. This is nothing new. He happens to serve on the Rules Committee as you said it up front. Look, I'm a Tea Party guy, but he is an active Tea Party participant and is very engaged in all of their issues. And he, like we get involved in these things. I'm the one that came and said we got to make sure that we clarify and put in the law about immigration laws. So I worked on it, told John Boehner we're going to added it at rules, and then we strengthened it with more language from Steve King, a member from Iowa. Well, Michael Burgess is also concerned about that and climate change.
Right.
And so Mike and sovereignty. So Mike got engaged in a lot of these issues. It's in the bill.
Good.
Mike Burgess is I had my hands full. I got the things I needed in there, and Michael as the others. This being on the Rules Committee offers Michael a platform to actually not only hear the debate and to vote on it, but to be able to put things in bills because of his wide influence that he has.
Sir, I sincerely appreciate the time that you would make for us to explain this incredibly confusing thing. In the last couple of days, I've actually been able to get there, and your explanation really helped me tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to having you back very soon.
That'll be great.
Outstanding.
Go get him.
Yes, sir. Congressman Pete Sessions on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Are you ready to experience Israel?
Every once in a while, an opportunity to do something truly special comes along. An opportunity for an unforgettable and timely expedition to the land of Israel. This year, be a part of the Stand with Israel tour. Spend 9 days this fall in the fascinating and dramatic land of Israel with Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. Enjoy first-class accommodations and meals in comfort and safety. Visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details and to register now. That's 660amtheanswer.com.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Have you had a chicken piccata? Come on, say it with me, piccata. Haven't heard of it? Sorry for you, bro. We pan-sear our own chicken and lemon and capers in a sauce so good, you want to swim in it. We call it the backstroke sauce. But the real stars of the dish are the herb-roasted Yukon potatoes. Trust me, you won't know what you want more of, the chicken or the tater.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Homestyle goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and Benefits Limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600.
That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
If you're retired or retiring soon and not happy with your investment strategy or the advice you've been given, I want to invite you to get a free second opinion. This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show. To register for a free financial portfolio review, go to moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
Ken was quoted in MarketWatch. Clients that followed his advice were out of the stock market for all of 2008. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and there's a group out there called Cure International that could sure use your help. Cure International works on fixing clubfoot, a congenital deformity that severely twists the foot downward and inward, making it impossible, or at least incredibly difficult to walk. It is curable. And that's what Cure International does. Here's Scott Reichenbach, Operations Director of Cure Clubfoot, which operates the clinics in Haiti, after talking about the role counselors play in the lives of families of children with this horrific problem.
One of the parts of the Clubfoot program is the role of a counselor, a person identified to be at each of the clinics to help follow up with the children, talk with the parents, and make sure the child completes the entire treatment. Our counselors are Christians living in these countries who then develop relationships with families and have the opportunity to share the love of Christ both in word and deed.
Here's the way this works. There are two ways to do it. A $400 donation will completely fund the total cost of treatment for one infant. A $2,800 donation to Cure International, and you will receive a free advertising campaign for your business on 660 AM The Answer. If you ask, I will gladly voice that advertising campaign. Call my dear friend Mike Krejci at 214-561-2164, 214-561-2164. You only have today and tomorrow. Get started to support Cure International. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. NVOWS.com. New venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. NVOWS.com. 877-907-TRADE.
Lumber Liquidators has one of the best selections of top quality hardwood floors, and now we've got them for less with deals on over 400 gorgeous styles, including some of our most popular floors, like pre-finished gun stock oak. It's one of our best-selling hardwoods, and now it's just 99 cents. Or get stylish white plank hardwood. This week, 3/4-inch solid hardwood is an incredible 32% less than other stores. Get pre-finished hardwood from 49 cents. Plus, pay no interest until September 2016. For the flooring styles you want at a price you deserve, visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM.
KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiaro. The cyber attack on federal workers blamed on the Chinese may have been much larger than announced.
The president of a government employees union is accusing the Obama administration of downplaying a major cyber attack made public last week. In a letter to the Office of Personnel Management, the union chief says Social Security numbers and other data was stolen from every single federal employee.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. New details about a woman who allegedly had agreed to drive the getaway car for the two escaped convicts in upstate New York, but never showed up.
Joyce Mitchell is said to be the civilian prison worker who the probe is focused on. As of now, neither she nor any other employee have been charged in connection with the escape. In the meantime, searches have been stepped up in wooded areas around the prison after bloodhounds picked up a scent.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Americans now see how President Obama wants to fundamentally transform America, and dozens of presidential hopefuls are talking about their visions for our future. Well, this Sunday on my show, we'll talk with Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, NCPA president, brave, veteran, outspoken conservative, about his views on the top issues facing America. This is Debbie Georgatos, and Ladies Can We Talk? We talk truth about America. Tune in every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM, The Answer.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Hey, when choosing a financial advisor, outstanding reputation, decades of experience, and a successful track record are very important. The good news is I have someone I would like for you to meet. Hey, Sean Hannity here from my friend Bob Guess at Texas First Financial. Now, Bob Guess is an author, a speaker, an educator who has taught at SMU and other prestigious campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, with his experience and the help of his team, Bob's clients earn a 9% return on their investments. That's a 9% return backed 100% by hard assets and no market volatility. Now it's time you placed your investments with one of Texas Monthly's top advisors. Now I know attractive, predictable, stable returns on your investments are important to you. Call Bob and his team today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. For 9% returns and no market risk. Now make sure you check them out yourself. Tell them Sean Hannity sent you.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When our daughter Emma was born, we took a look at our credit card debt. It was not a good situation.
We had been running up balances for quite some time, and it became a crisis. Finally, my wife Vicki said, call Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
We called them, they contacted all of our creditors, they stopped the collections calls, they got the interest reduced, and they put us on a plan for success.
Trinity will consolidate your bills, stop collections calls, wipe out late fees, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We are now completely debt-free, and we will never be in the spot we were again, thanks to Trinity.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is John.
I'm Vicki. And I'm Emma. And we're debt-free for keeps.
That's 1-800-990-6976.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-0983. That's 1-800-500-0983. 1-800-500-0983.
Have you ever noticed that every time the subject of immigration comes up, the conversation just never seems to go anywhere? Our border remains porous, and we want a fence. But a fence, we're told from the people who live in gated communities, just won't work. And so the issue dies, and in a nutshell, nothing changes. Hey, this is Mike Gallagher. Most of you are familiar with my friend Ann Coulter and her no-holds-barred approach to the issues and challenges facing the country we all love. Well, she's at it again. And in Adios America, Ann is at her provocative best, trying to stop the left from turning our country into a third world hellhole. But she's providing our nation the provocative conversation we need to have, and we need to have it now. Grab a copy of Ann's book and let's start that conversation today.
Adios, America. The left's plan to turn our country into a third world hellhole from Ann Coulter is out now from Regnery Publishing and available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores everywhere.
660 AM, The Answer.
660 AM, TheAnswer.com.
Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country,
In this state.
and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report
With Jon-David
on
Wells.
660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. How are you? Okay, so we just threw a whole bunch of information at you. Congressman Pete Sessions and I were discussing Trade Promotion Authority, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, collectively known as Obama Trade. Okay, so while we were having a conversation with Congressman Sessions, a couple of people called. We want to give those people a chance to call back. If you have a question about Trade Promotion Authority and the Trans-Pacific Partnership and so on and so forth, please call me. I think I can help. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. I will be more than happy to talk to you about it because there's a lot of stuff that's out there, and a lot of it is correct and a lot of it isn't. But let's talk a little bit about what you heard Congressman Sessions just say, and let's get some questions asked and answered if we can. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. There has been a long-term problem with trade surrounding China. There are two things, and the two things that Congressman Sessions was talking about, those two things are China manipulating its currency, China ignoring patent law and intellectual property rights. What they don't do is they don't allow American products into their markets to compete with their own products, which they stole from America by virtue of the fact they just ignore our patents. You see what I mean? What ends up happening is that China won't let any of our products into their markets, even though they make a lot of products that come with us. There's a $10 billion trade surplus. We'd like to balance that out. Obviously, it's bigger than that, by the way. That $10 billion number is pretty conservative. Let me get to Joe in Dallas. Joe, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Hi, Jon-David. I sure appreciate you taking my call and your the folks that work with you, your team. That's terrific.
I got the best. I got the
opportunity.
Yeah, I got the
Now,
best in the business.
Yes, you do, sir. I wanted to say, and again, I appreciate the opportunity to do so. I know Congressman Sessions real well. He's member or was a member of the same church that I've been a member of for 30 years or so. And for the life of me, I used to support the man blindly on retrospect, but I don't support him anymore. And I feel so strongly about it. I wish I could be part of leading a recall effort. I think he's just listening to him, JD, on your program. It was almost like condescending, the manner in which he spoke. But I think the only issue is there's no reason whatsoever to give this president, and again, we all know this, we don't care if he's purple. We don't like what he's done, and I think he's a liar, and he certainly hasn't earned our trust. But to give him any special ability for fast-tracking anything, I don't think he deserves it. And this isn't a matter of national security, I don't think. So that's it. I just don't mean
Joe,
to be on a rant.
No, it's okay. Let's talk a little bit about this. First of all, okay, so I understand that you have some issues with Pete Sessions. I got it. A lot of people do. I have been in communication with Pete Sessions for almost a decade. And I know what you're talking about when you talk about his speaking style. He is very cautious and very, very measured in everything that he says. Now, that took me a long time. That took me a long time to make heads or tails out of, because it seemed to me that what you were saying, it does seem a little condescending at first, but what he's doing is he's talking about some very complex things. I've been watching this Trade Promotion Authority and this Trans-Pacific Partnership, this Obama trade thing, for probably 2 weeks. And I just started putting it together day before yesterday, and I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to, because I didn't have enough pieces, right? Until eventually I started listening to more. I started doing more research. Vicki and I worked on it. We tried to figure out just exactly what this all was. We just sat down and said, okay, let's start from scratch. What are they trying to get done here? And then we started making some headway on getting some information. So what I can tell you is, regardless of whether you like Pete Sessions or not, he being the chairman of the House Rules Committee, he is right in the middle of all of this, and he's the right guy for the job. Now, that doesn't besmirch any of your feelings. I'm just saying that this guy's a real pro. And
yes, he is.
And in a republic, we have to depend on guys like Pete Sessions and John Boehner and so on. Now, remember, I have some problems, not so much with Pete Sessions, but certainly I have problems with John Boehner's politics. I have problems with mainstream Republican politics. And I'm very concerned about it, because I keep seeing us being defeated because of it. But that being said, when it comes to this, I felt a lot better about Trade Promotion Authority when I realized that Congress was still going to have a yes or no vote on everything the president does. Then I found out. Go ahead.
JD, why do we need to grant him anything then? Why can't we just go with the normal course of the way things are supposed to be approved?
Well, you see, Joe, the thing is this is the way things are normally approved. Normally, you name a negotiator to go out there and talk to you. In this case, talk to these other countries. In this case, it's President Obama. What we found, yeah, exactly. Yikes. Okay, so the thing that made me feel better about that was something I found out yesterday, and something that was talked about with Congressman Sessions tonight, when he said what the bill itself dictates the parameters of the negotiations. If indeed these parameters are not adhered to, the Congress will vote no.
Okay, that is encouraging.
Okay, well, it's not. Listen, it's not perfect, believe me. But I will
Right.
tell you this: it's better than it was 3 days ago when I was sitting there going, "We can't give this guy a thing."
Right. It does. I usually like to say, let's scream to the rafters about tying his hands in any manner we can with what he's doing so far.
Well, when he looks you right in the face and lies, okay, when
Yes.
he blows the trust of the American people, given every president from time immemorial. But
By the way, JD, I really enjoyed you just speaking so plainly and saying that earlier. We don't need to color it up. We don't mean to disrespect the office.
Right.
It's just factual.
Well,
it's something.
Here's the thing that went through my head when you were discussing what you were talking about. Two offices, but let's apply the same thing. You have personal issues with Pete Sessions. We have major issues with President Obama's credibility, his truthfulness, his transparency, and his competence. So all that being said, the thing about it is that Pete Sessions is the chairman of the House Rules Committee. He's the guy that has to be able to guide the way these bills are structured and what they mean and what they do. And that we had him on the show is incredibly, it's an incredible gift. The other thing about President Obama, and I brought this up in the conversation, President Obama has blown the trust of the American people. However, the president of the United States still needs to go out there and make this deal.
Yes, it's just a fright, but you're right. You're right. That's the fact. Unfortunately, the fella that fills the shoes for us currently is just leaves a lot to be desired.
Joe,
anyway, in what seems to be wrongly placed motivation as far as not having the American citizen.
Yeah, but let's not
priority.
Yeah, let's not go down that road because all of us feel pretty much the same way. I mean, all of us feel pretty much the same way. Let's not go down that road. Let's just take a look at this for what this is. Now I have an understanding. Now, all that being said, Joe, there is one thing that I'm concerned about. I don't mind free trade. Okay, I don't mind free trade as long as it's fair trade. Right? I don't mind it as long as it's fair trade. And by the way, right up the road from where I live is a gentleman who used to say, if this deal is so good, let's flip it around and see how they like our side of it. And that was Ross Perot. So I want the Republican Party to work a lot harder on making free trade fair trade. And that's something else that you didn't address, but I think that's in there. And it all comes down to supporting, or not necessarily supporting. It all comes down to trusting the people that are making these decisions. And there are reasons for all of us to not trust the people making these decisions. And perfect call. Thanks very much, Joe. I appreciate it. Let me get to Jerry in Benton, Missouri. Senton, Missouri. Senton, Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up in the frozen north.
Okay. I've got the mitten holding up in my hand. I used to live in Detroit. So where are you?
I am about an hour west of Detroit.
Okay.
Hour north of Ann Arbor and 30 minutes south of Flint.
So you're right under my ring finger in the mitten.
Pretty much.
Okay, I got it. All right. So you're listening to the radio station on iHeartRadio, or?
You got it.
Thank you for listening, Jerry. What do you think?
Jon-David?
Yes, sir.
Way up here in Michigan, I can smell the bull wafting off of Pete Sessions.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Coming in strong.
Well, but the thing about it is you can't. You have to get his speaking style and realize that
it's not his speaking style. It's the underlying process, the thought process behind it. It's not the style.
Well, let's talk a little bit about let's talk a little bit about your problems with, I guess it's fast track TPA and so on. Let's talk about that.
Okay, number one thing. You don't trust President Obama to negotiate.
Right.
We've already noticed how he uses executive action.
Yes, sir.
So any legislation they pass by, first they got to pass it.
Right.
First they got to propose it, then they got to pass it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the enabling legislation, and they're going to restrict
everything,
his ability.
everything.
But you remember that nice little budget agreement they were trying to pass, and they were going to limit his ability to utilize funds for the executive amnesty.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How did that go through?
Yeah, I understand. Now,
Same situation here.
Well,
now, if they don't give him fast track authority, it requires a overwhelming, a supermajority to pass any legislation. They can still modify, amend any component of it. They're totally in control.
Okay, don't go anywhere, Jerry, from Senton, Michigan. He's joining us here on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer. Don't go anywhere, Jerry. We're going to pick this up on the other side of the commercial break. I understand what you're talking about. And I told Congressman Sessions, I said the same thing. I said, here's the circumstance. This president has seriously shot himself in the foot when it comes to we, the people of the United States, trusting him, because he's blown that trust. And this is why you don't blow trust with the American people, because there is business that we need to have executed in the Pacific Rim that we have not done yet. More about this whole thing next as we continue with Jerry in Senton, Michigan, next on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM, The Answer, every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live, or call 469-361-4020.
Do you panic every time the phone rings? Do you dread opening the mail? Are you scared to see who is at the front door? One phone call to the experts at Rush Tax Resolution can put an end to your nightmare. If you owe $10,000 or more in personal or business taxes, have unfiled returns, received an audit notice, or have been threatened with a levy or garnishment, chances are your tax problem has been costing you a lot of sleep. Call 877-554-RUSH to get effective and reputable help today. Rush Tax Resolution has federally licensed tax experts with unrestricted rights to represent and defend you before the IRS. They will hold your hand through the process and get you a permanent solution to your tax problem. You may even have up to 85% of your taxes forgiven. And if you're not sure what the IRS has in your file, call today and receive a free transcript analysis. Call now. 877-554-RUSH. That's 877-554-RUSH. Or log on to rushtaxresolution.com. 877-554-7874.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what ViaScan of Las Colinas is all about. ViaScan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be ViaScan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're debt relief advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now 1-800-791-6811. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money.
Before we get to how you can help, why don't we find out what Clubfoot actually is? Here is the director. Here is the operations director of Cure. Here is the operations director of Cure Clubfoot, Scott Reichenbach.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work, or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Jerry from Senton, Michigan. Jerry. Okay,
Hello,
so when we last left our conversation, you were talking a little bit about the money and the appropriations bill that was supposed to be taken out, so President Obama could not move forward with executive amnesty. You will note that the American circumstance, the American system worked beautifully, as Judge Hannon down south in Brownsville, the federal judge down there, essentially threw out President Obama's executive amnesty bill. Am I nervous that it took a federal judge to do that? Sure. But
what bothers me is we're talking about Congress now. The amnesty problem apparently at this point has been saved by our judicial branch.
Right.
It's not the legislative branch that is doing their job. And if they didn't do it on that, I have no faith they're going to do it on any modification to this Obama trade.
Well, you have to understand a couple of other things. You'll have to understand a couple of things. And I know why you feel this way, because the mainstream media is so woefully corrupt at this moment. There really isn't any saving it. I mean, from a standpoint of, okay, you're not going to get the news except, oh, by the way, here. So what I will tell you is that I'm going to watch this just like 100 other things that I watch. And I look at it not from a Republican standpoint, not from a liberal or political standpoint at all. I look at it from an American standpoint. And I will tell you this. These guys know, Congressman Sessions knows that I am the guy that will put him on the air and say, okay, this wasn't what you talked about before. He knows I've done it before. And so that's the basis of our relationship. I'm going to do my job as an information broker and a journalist for you, because that's what the First Amendment and freedom of the press means. I will do as good a job taking care of Republicans from a standpoint of Overwatch as the Democrats or as the mainstream media does with Republicans and Overwatch. I will also look at Democrats because the mainstream media flat ignores them. So the thing that I can tell you, Jerry, is this. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I understand what you're saying. It has to do with trust in government. They've blown that trust. I got it. The Republican Party blew its trust with me. And all I can tell you is that I'm a fair-minded guy and I will get the story out there. And if you believe that, then maybe we'll be able to move forward with some stuff that'll keep people informed. That's all I can do. That's the best I've got.
Hey, get the other Sessions on. Have him chat.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. You know, I've reached out to Jeff Sessions a lot. And he's more concerned about what happens in the Pacific Rim with regards to the European Union. I'd like to disagree a little bit with Pete Sessions. I think the European Union is doing just fine. It's going to take a while for that to really show the benefits necessary. There's a whole bunch of these European socialist governments that do not work, and the European Union has to get all of those weeded out and get the people understanding that economic prosperity requires free markets. And as soon as they are able to turn that corner, then the European Union will be fine. As far as the Trans-Pacific Partnership, look, I think those countries in the Trans-Pacific Partnerships, I think they should stand together as a counterweight to China. China will not join that organization because they manipulate their currency. There are a lot of moving pieces in this, Jerry, and I understand completely. It takes me, I spend my entire day trying to make heads or tails out of this. I'm starting to get it.
The simplest thing there is we've had a problem with China for an extended length of time.
Yeah, like a half a century.
Unfortunately, they're financing our debt.
Well, they're only financing a very small amount of our debt. And that's another topic, but keep this telephone number, Jerry. I'd love to hear from you in the future. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes you must think about your kids first.
I can't really put myself in a place of if my father had become a woman, how I would have reacted. Or for that matter, the thought on my children if I became a woman. There's a lot more in life than my happiness. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it, but there was a lot more in life than my own pursuit of happiness.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Save this day, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service. They know you've worked hard for your money. Getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or register by logging on to investingmakesmesick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Investingmakesmesick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to begin? Do you fear your job is in jeopardy, or is your business income reduction keeping you awake at night? We're in the best time in 25 years to make a fortune in real estate without using your money or credit. Ron LeGrand has taught 500,000 people to do just that and personally bought hundreds of houses. If you call 800-473-7178 24 hours a day and leave your information, he'll send the first 500 callers his hot new CD, Foreclosure Fortunes, and his best-selling book to help you get started absolutely free. He'll show you how to build a 6-figure income part-time with no previous experience and no license, even if you're a busy professional. Call 800-473-7178 24 hours a day and get Ron's new book and CD. That's 800-473-7178. Take your life back and make this your best year ever. Call 800-473-7178.
Dentist office, may I help you?
Hi, I'd like to cancel my teeth whitening appointment.
Oh, may I ask why?
I found a teeth whitener that works in 5 minutes that I can do from home.
Can I ask what it is?
It's called Power Swabs, and it whitens your teeth in 5 minutes, doesn't leave my teeth feeling sensitive, and it's a lot less expensive than visiting the dentist.
Hi, I'm John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if you want to whiten your teeth 2 shades in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days, then try Power Swabs. There's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth and you're done. It removes stains on natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. Try Power Swabs risk-free by calling 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. I guarantee your friends and coworkers will be wowed by your new white smile. Try it risk-free and get free shipping and handling today. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question for you. Why is your cell phone bill helping Hillary to become president of the United States? Why did your mobile phone bill go to Obama for 2 elections? If you weren't aware this happened, well, let me confirm it for you and offer you a better way. Big Mobile, the companies you're probably paying for your cell phone service, they contribute all across the political spectrum, some over here, some over there. If it's the over there part that's troubling, I can fix that. Let me hook you up with EOS Mobile, EOS. The website is eoscell.com, EOSCELL.com, and it's a local company. But wait, you're going to save 10 to 15%, and the network service is going to be the same, and you're going to have a fantastic phone selection, same phones, same service, better price, and conservative causes. Let's make the switch today. But Mark, you may say, I'm already tied up in my existing plan. Well, they will buy you out of your current contract. EOScell.com. Check them out. EOS, EOSCELL.com, and they're local too. EOScell, EOSCELL.com.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Is this Thursday already? Wow, Thursday already. Man, this week is flying by. Whoa. Mark Davis will appear on the radio station tomorrow morning, say at about 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's going to be on until 10, 3 hours coast to coast, 2 hours for Texas. And here's what he's going to be talking about.
Hey, JD, good Thursday evening. As a talk show guy, think about this. What would have been the big topics of the week if McKinney hadn't happened?
Yeah.
2016 campaign stuff, ISIS advances, this key trade agreement making strange political bedfellows, maybe that crazy New York prison break. Well, tell you what, we'll do all of that and more tomorrow morning. Because, heck, we got 5 hours. Join me 5 to 8 on Morning in America, then 8 to 10 for Texas. Get you into the warm weekend in style. We'll be looking for you. Mark Davis tomorrow morning, 5 till 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
I can hardly wait, Mark. Thanks very much for dropping by and telling us what's going on. Okay, so last week we heard that 4 billion U.S. government records of personnel that happened to be working for the government had been hacked into, probably by Chinese operatives. I immediately looked at that and said, oh, no, that's a hell of a lot bigger than 4 million. And the reason I knew that that was the case is because, well, I can read. The United States government's handling of information, except our information sucked up by the NSA and stored in the federal data hub somewhere outside Salt Lake City, is horrifyingly terrible and requires an immediate review and change. Get a load of this from ABC News. The massive hack into the federal systems announced last week went far deeper and potentially more problematic than first publicly acknowledged. Hackers believed to be from China moving through government databases undetected for more than a year may have garnered all the information about every U.S. government employee, present and past. Now the number is somewhere around 21 million. 21 million people, their security clearances, their backgrounds, their addresses, their phone numbers, their educations, their friends, their associates, everything. If only they knew the full extent of it, said one U.S. official about those affected by the intrusion into the Office of Personnel Management's information systems. It all started with an initial intrusion into OPM systems more than a year ago. After gaining that initial access, hackers were able to work their way through 4 different segments of OPM systems. This, according to sources. Now, remember, these guys have been lying there in this system as a part of it for a year or longer. Much of the data has been stored on OPM systems housed by the Department of the Interior in a Denver area data center. And one of the 4 segments compromised held forms filled out by federal employees seeking security clearances. They're SF-86s. They're an all-day cookie. I filled out 2 of these suckers. The 127-page forms used for background investigations asked applicants for personal information not only about themselves, but relatives, friends, college roommates, everyone. And they cross-match everything. I mean, you know, what they do with these is truly amazing. If you get a U.S. security clearance, it's because you have been vetted. It is something that you should be so proud of that you just, I mean, because what has happened is that your country has looked into your background. A lot of the backgrounds are your friends. They have vetted you from virtually birth until where you sit down at the desk filling out this form. And you have succeeded in being a trustworthy part of the United States government. It's a brilliant achievement. If you're listening to this and you have a security clearance, congratulations. God bless you. Good for you. OPM insists the information compromised by the intrusion into its system does not include the names of family members. That is wishful thinking. Of course it does. Family members of employees were not affected by this breach, says an OPM official, which is damage control. They've got everything. U.S. officials speaking on the condition of anonymity say unequivocally such information was put at serious risk by this hack. Of utmost concern are U.S. employees stationed overseas, including in countries such as China, whose government would covet personal information on relatives and contacts of American officials living in the communist country. If the SF-86s associated with this hack were, in their entirety, part of the stolen information, then that would mean the potential release of a staggering amount of information affecting an exponential amount of people. Acting as the government's human resources division, I guarantee you that one of these 21 million people have talked to the government about you. You know the 6 degrees of separation? Everybody has some sort of connection with Kevin Bacon, right? I guarantee you, you're a part of this. Let that sink in for just a minute. Information from SF-86 forms dating back 3 decades could be exposed in the cyber attack. That means that at least one of mine is there. Applicants seeking U.S. security clearances are required to provide full names, dates of birth, places of birth, social security numbers of spouses or partners, relatives, full names of address, dates of birth, current addresses, in some cases, employment information. In all cases, employment information. Applicants are asked for the full names, dates of birth, and addresses of foreign contacts, defined as foreign nationals, including relatives with whom or your spouse or cohabitant are bound by affection, influence, common interests, and or obligations. Are you beginning to see the depth of the information that we stumbled across last week that has been stolen? The problem is the United States still doesn't know exactly the seriousness of this attack. So what they need to do, there are a couple of things they need to do. And Vicki says, she looks at me across the desk in the pre-production meeting today, and she says, how does this affect all of us? It affects all of us because all of us are named in all of these paperwork. Some of this is there. You are a part of this. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, what we have to do is we have to make this a very expensive proposition. Listen carefully now. Listen carefully. Okay? Listen to this. What we should do right this very minute is the United States government should sit down and I should have talked about this with Congressman Sessions. What the Congress needs to do is they need to put a bill in action, in motion right this minute. that fines the Chinese government 1% of all the money that they have invested in treasury bonds in the United States as a fine for hacking our systems. The United States has a lot of leverage we don't use. This should cost the Chinese government somewhere around $500-600 billion. I want you to get that. The government of the United States needs to fine the government of China, the People's Republic of China, $500 billion for this data breach. And then, oh, by the way, they need to prove that they didn't do it, and they can't. The problem with it is it's not just China. It's Russia. If China can do it, Russia can do it. Hell, those savages in Syria broke into the U.S. Army database, not the database, but their webpage. Those are guys sitting in a desert, in a desert hut somewhere, working with their Chinese computers, crashing into the U.S. Army servers. What? So that's the first thing. What we need to do is we need to make sure that these countries that keep crashing our databases pay for it. If they're going to get the money, if they're going to get it, they need to pay for the privilege. Okay. So that's thing number one. Sit down, write an email to your representative. Hey, let's fine the Chinese government 1% of every dime they've got invested in the United States for this data breach. Okay. The president can't turn it down. The Congress can't turn it down. It is a lead pipe cinch, 1%, period. They just cost themselves 1% of their T-bill, their treasury bond, not T-bills, their treasury bond income from the United States of America for all invested monies now, regardless of the term of the bond. That will get their attention. And oh, by the way, we'll get the attention of everybody else in the world, and we'll start having just a little bit more security when it comes to these massive data breaches. That's thing number one. Thing number two is we need to, in some way, shape, or form, get the attention of the United States government. The information that we give them is not the key to our pants. Okay? It's not. You don't get to take every bit of information that we have to share with you, whether we want a security clearance or not, and bumble it to the point where anybody that has a really good creative hacking team can steal it from you. Well, Jon-David, that's an impossible task. How in the hell would you do that? Simple. When the government is done with any of the information they collect on us, when the government is done with it, specific to the detail that they wanted it in the first place, they've got to dump it. They have to dump that data. The people in charge are not going to make that happen. The people that are currently in Washington are not going to fix this. Who can? Tea Party conservatives can. Tea Party conservatives should. We are electing the wrong people to represent us in Washington. We need to fix it. We need to keep electing and keep increasing the numbers of people who believe the Constitution of the United States should rule the day in Washington, not political party agendas. Either political party agenda. None of it should usurp the Constitution of the United States. You need to keep electing people like that. We are winning this fight, by the way. We are. We just had somebody who is the chairman of the House Rules Committee refer to a Tea Party congressman named Michael Burgess, who is probably the most effective Tea Party congressman that we have on the Hill. We need more people like that. We need more people like Michael Burgess who can see the forest for the trees, but still wants to see a distinct boundary. We need to get rid of, I would say, at least 60%, maybe 70% of the gray area that makes Washington tick. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to keep the people there that get it and replace the people there that don't with people who get it. How do you know who those people are? Well, the Wells Report does a little thing called the Who's Next Project every election season. We've been doing it for 5 years. Actually, longer than that. We've been doing it for 8 years. The Who's Next Project is critical. I invite all. I mean, take the idea. Okay? For goodness sakes, take the idea. The Who's Next Project. Call it the Who's Next Project. I don't even care. But what you need to do is you need to get Tea Party people that are not going to be the greatest politicians in the world, and you need to sit them down and find out what they mean and find out what they think and what they want to do, and do not want to hang a Tea Party politician out to dry with some contrivance of journalistic gobbledygook that's designed to make somebody who's outside the political system we currently have, which isn't working, look stupid. Okay? We need to change the way we do business. If you don't change what you do, you're going to get what you've always got. Let's stop. This is the Wells Report.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
On the next Mike Gallagher Show, I'll be away. My dear friend and guest host Mike Cinto will be filling in. And if you didn't agree with my position regarding the McKinney, Texas police officer, well, guess what? Mike Cinto has a decidedly different view from mine. He'll tackle that as well as all the day's headlines, take your call, talk about breaking news, and of course, deliver a fantastic talk show.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little dream, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about if we make this the summer of you doing better on Wall Street? How do we do that? We get you into the upcoming seminars for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. We have an Addison location and a Fort Worth location for the seminar weekend, the 19th and 20th of June. Weekend after that in Tyler. Learn more at NVOWS.com or a phone number I'll give you here in a second. It's a 2-day event. It's live. It's not a webinar. It's real people. It's great. It's upbeat. It's fun. And you'll leave this course confident in your ability to trade stocks better with more wisdom. And New Venture is going to coach you along the way. It's not just seminar and then, see ya, have a nice life. Nope, they're going to stay with you, helping you along the way to make sure that you have kept in your head the stuff they've taught you. It'll enable you to retire earlier, get a second income stream, things we all want to do. So let me get you into these seminars at 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. Addison and Fort Worth, 19th and 20th of June. Tyler the weekend after. 877-907-TRADE.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
Are your medical expenses and insurance costs out of control? There's a way to pay less for the healthcare you need. RealMedSavings.com. It's a membership like a club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. Real Med Savings even connects you with a board-certified physician anytime, 24 hours a day. The doctor will consult with you, diagnose the condition, and when necessary, call in the prescription. You pay nothing for the doctor's consultation because you're a member. You save money because we've already negotiated discounts on dental, vision, prescription drugs, and much more. Just go to realmedsavings.com and learn all about it. Real Med Savings is not insurance. You just save real money on your health care for you and your whole family, and it costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. No salesperson will call, and there is no long-term commitment. Convenient money-saving health care. realmedsavings.com.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents. Hi, Mr. Tullis. Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-919-8949 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-919-8949. 1-800-919-8949. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Solvent European Sleep Systems. Things that require a personalized fit. Shoes, pants, wedding rings, heck, even brassieres. They all require a personal fit. Why wouldn't you do the same with your mattress? 30 minutes with the professionals at Solvent European Sleep Systems, and that's exactly what you can expect. A custom-tailored...
Check. So you're saying Cure International is very, very good at correcting clubfoot, almost. No, let me try this again. Yeah. So you kind of know what it's like. Right. So how do you correct this even more? Serious problem? Here's Scott Reichenbach, the operations director of Cure Clubfoot Here's Scott Reichenbach, the operations director of Cure Clubfoot in Haiti, describing the methods used to So how do they solve an even worse problem than I had? Here's Scott Reichenbach, the operations director of Cure Clubfoot in Haiti, describing methods used to correct this very curable issue. There you go. Sorry about that. Actually is. Here is the operations director of Cure Clubfoot, Scott Reichenbach.
Clubfoot is one of the most common congenital orthopedic deformities. The foot is twisted downward and inward, making it very difficult or impossible for a child to walk.
The folks at Cure International want to help the children of Haiti that suffer from this deformity, and they'd like your help. How can you help? If you donate $2,800 to Cure International, you can qualify for the Business Benefactor. That's right. We'll give you an advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer absolutely free. If you'd like, I will voice that campaign for you. All you got to do is call my dear friend Mike Krejci at 214-561-2164. That's 214-561-2164 to get started with your advertising campaign. $2,800 saves 7 kids from Clubfoot. You only have today and tomorrow. Why do I have a personal stake in this? I'll tell you next time we talk about Cure International on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, 500 business cards for just $9.99. What's more, you can choose between hundreds of designs or upload your own and customize them easily. And because they're from Vistaprint.com, the cards are of top quality and your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. So visit Vistaprint.com today and get 500 shots at turning your dream into reality. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. To get your 500 business cards for just $9.99, go to Vistaprint.com, click on the link in the upper right corner, and use promo code 2323. That's Vistaprint.com, click on the link in the upper right corner, and use promo code 2323.
Dentist office, may I help you?
Hi, I'd like to cancel my teeth whitening appointment.
Oh, may I ask why?
I found a teeth whitener that works in 5 minutes that I can do from home.
Can I ask what it is?
It's called Power Swabs, and it whitens your teeth in 5 minutes, doesn't leave my teeth feeling sensitive, and it's a lot less expensive than visiting the dentist.
Hi, I'm John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if you want to whiten your teeth 2 shades in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days, then try Power Swabs. There's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth and you're done. It removes stains on natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. Try Power Swabs risk-free by calling 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. I guarantee your friends and coworkers will be wowed by your new white smile. Try it risk-free and get free shipping and handling today. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
This year, the stock market has hit new highs, but are you prepared for when the bubble does pop?
This is Ken Murray, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose 1 p.m. Saturday, June 20th in Plano, Thursday, June 25th in the Alliance Gateway area, and Tuesday, June 30th in Denton. Ken Murray was featured on Fox Business News. Clients that followed his advice were out of the market for all of 2008. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Joe Chiro. A third arrest made in the recent Boston terror plot. Warwick, Rhode Island resident Nicholas Ravinsky taken into custody by the FBI tonight.
Reports saying Ravinsky is believed to be connected to Osama Rahim. Rahim shot and killed by the FBI and Boston police last week when he came at them with a knife. An FBI complaint against a relation of Rahim saying Rahim's plot was to behead boys in blue or police officers.
Fox Radio's Bill Marcus. Authorities believe 2 convicted murderers may still be near the upstate New York prison where they escaped 6 days ago.
It's a very dense, wooded area where your average person, your hiker, is not going to be coming through, so any traffic that the dogs pick up on would be a good sign.
Clinton County Sheriff David Favreau, David Sweat, and Richard Matt escaped using power tools to cut through the wall of their cells and an underground steam pipe. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Dennis Prager believes you must think about your kids first.
I can't really put myself in a place of, if my father had become a woman, how I would have reacted. Or for that matter, the thought on my children if I became a woman. There's a lot more in life than my happiness. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it, but there was a lot more in life than my own pursuit of happiness.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Save this date, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investment. Yeah. Diversity, inclusion, all of these things, wonderful, fantastic. It makes our country better. And should the NYPD work to recruit more Muslims? That's what they're doing. Is that a good idea? Maybe we should talk about it next time on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this opportunity to drop by the radio marathon to tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report later on tonight. The NYPD, in an inclusive and diverse and wonderfully expansive, multinational, and beautiful way. Now, let me try this again. Mark Davis, thanks very much for letting me drop by the radio marathon, my friend. You're sounding great as always. Coming up later on the Wells Report, we're going to dip into the New York Police Department and what they're doing to be more inclusive, more expansive, more wonderfully nationalistic, and welcome more Muslims into the NYPD. Is that a good idea? I think it's something we ought to talk about. So let's do next time on the Wells Report.
Call now. 1-800-500-0983. That's 1-800-500-0983. 1-800-500-0983.
Hey folks, Mike Krejci here, sales manager of 660 AM The Answer. If you are a business owner, I want to talk specifically to you. If you were listening to our station over the last few days, you'll know that we've been supporting one of our favorite charities, Cure International, by offering our Business Benefactor program. We've had some terrific businesses step up to support the cause, but we need a few more to join in. We are trying to heal kids in Haiti who were born with a condition known as clubfoot. Your gift will help heal a child so they can run, dance, and play and have a chance at a normal life. 100% of this gift goes to help these children. Here's how the Business Benefactor program works. Your business donates $2,800 to Cure International, and in exchange, you'll get an advertising campaign to run on 660 AM The Answer during the next 90 days, absolutely free. So you'll be helping your business and these kids all at the same time. Call me today to get started. My number is 214-561-9103. That's 214-561-9103. One more time, 214-561-9103. Thank you.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
You know, I get a kick out of these solar lease companies out there, these guys that claim to be the biggest in America. And they sit at big box retail home improvement stores and they pester you when you walk down the aisles. It's sickening. Trying to sell you a solar lease where the rates are typically higher than the big old electric company. Hi, I'm Jim Peterson, founder of Solar for America. We don't call you, we don't hound you, we don't stalk you. You call us to reduce your household electricity bills. Our rates start at 7 cents fixed per kilowatt hour, and they never go up. You own the system. You get the rebate. You get the tax credit, and you keep the savings. All of our products are made in America by Americans supporting the American economy. Their products are made in China. No offense to the Chinese, but their quality is not American. We know that. We've been victims of that. Call Solar for America today and start saving today and be your own energy producer at 800-564-0362. That's Solar for America by Peterson Dean. 800-564-0362 or at solarforamerica.com.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. One more thing about that ridiculous information hack. I want to make it very clear that you understand where I am with this, okay? My problem is not necessarily that the Chinese government hacked our systems. That they could hack our systems annoys the living hell out of me. And so when you start talking about how hackers from some other country can get more information about what our country's doing and what our country's not doing and who works for it and who doesn't work for it, even when that information also was us. I mean, it's about us. Okay? When they start doing all that kind of stuff, it infuriates the living hell out of me that I can't do a Freedom of Information Act request for information and get information that hackers already have. Okay? These people can't sit there in their ivory towers and say, no, we can't let you have that information because you have no need to know. Okay, so maybe what I should do is I should just float a note to one of these hackers and say, hey, look, while you're going out there and finding who had a security clearance for the last 30 years, do me a favor. Would you find out just exactly what's going on in this Trans-Pacific Partnership thing so I can explain it to my listeners? And just send it to me. Thanks. Seriously. All right? So the thing about that is that the government is incompetent when it comes to handling our data. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that they only handle it for the exact length of time necessary to be able to make a decision. After that, they need to blow it away. They need to delete it. And I'm not just talking about hiding it so we don't know that it hasn't been deleted. I'm talking about really deleting it. The people who are currently in power won't do that. We need to continue sending constitutional conservatives to Washington flippin' D.C. You have to do your homework. I will help you. That's what the Who's Next Project, that's what I was talking about. We put these candidates on the air so you can hear them talk. Do not elect somebody you don't know. Do not vote for someone you don't know. Vote for somebody you know. But don't expect the tried and true, polished, homogenized, pasteurized, perfect suit, perfect haircut, smile, wonderful television presence that you are used to when you send these people to Washington, D.C. They are not professional politicians. This burgeoning ruling class in the United States is what we fought a revolution to get away from. And we are not going to sit here and watch it develop under our noses. So start sending people you know. Constitutional conservatives, that's the deal. The Constitution still matters. If you vote for somebody who doesn't believe in the Constitution, let me give you an example of one. Jeb Bush. It's not his fault. The federal government has been wandering far afield from the Constitution forever, and we are paying the bill. And so are our kids, and so are our grandchildren. $18.5 trillion, in fact. Enough's enough. They can't deal with it. Let's send people there who will diminish the power of the federal government to do something so obscene. And those aren't the people we've been electing for the last, okay, how old are you? Elect someone else. But don't expect them to handle everything perfectly. Let me give you a great example. Dr. Ben Carson on Wednesday night said he was irritated by the comparison between the fight for same-sex marriage rights and the civil rights movement because there is no overt segregation against gays. Speaking on Fox News Special Report, Carson elaborated on his remarks on CNN in March that he believes that being gay is a choice because people go into prison straight when they come out there gay. Well, okay, some do. Some people are completely gay. They started out that way. It's the way they were made, and that's the situation. It's still a matter of choice because if you choose not to pursue that life, that is a choice. There are people who do that too. It depends on how important your posterity is, your future memory, your future contribution to society. Posterity used to matter to Americans. leave the country better than we found it. That is your posterity. If you are engaging in a relationship that does not leave a posterity in the form of children, there you go. And people say, well, now, wait a minute. Gay people can have children. Sure, they can, with help from another person. Which means the child is raised in a situation where they are missing one or the other of their parents by choice. That used to be a tragedy that we tried to avoid at all costs. Now, it is something that we accept as the price for gay couples to have children. That's not the way it works. Further, I would have a dramatically different life if I had chosen to pursue bachelorhood. I would have a completely different life. I had to set aside the silly things of youth in order to be able to have a family and continue my name and continue my posterity. And that was important to me. I like our family. I like the brains our family bring to the game. I wanted to pass them along. I want to make sure that our family actually makes a contribution to this great society. And that's more important to me than racing blindingly fast race cars, traveling around the world racing sailboats, doing all those things that I really love to do. But you know what? You set those aside because it's time for you to settle down. If you want to have a child, find someone of an opposite gender, settle down. I guarantee you that regardless of what any gay person will tell you, there is an opposite number there of an opposite gender out there that you would absolutely love hanging around for the rest of your life. There is. Have a baby with those people. Okay? You can do it. I swear you can. Honest. And that's what Ben Carson is talking about. It is a choice matter. Either you are gay and that's the way God made you and you turn away for the sake of your posterity, or you don't. Either way, it's okay with me and it's okay with Dr. Ben Carson. However, you draw the line in the sand with Dr. Ben Carson when you say that people who are essentially fighting for a way to bring up a kid in a broken home as a matter of course, when you say that that's equality, it's not equality. Those are rights that heterosexual couples do not possess. We don't get to have the wild and crazy lifestyle that we wanted to have when we were 20. We settled down. We found somebody that we love. And more importantly, not just love, but wanted to extend a posterity with. It's not just who you're in love with. It's who you're building a family with. God gave us this biology to disrespect it for the sake of what? Fleeting moments of pleasure? Sorry. That's not the deal. And you are affecting somebody else's life. This little kid who gets born in a same-gender family is missing one of their parents. I have noticed that I very rarely hear, if ever hear, of any agreement between the same-gender couple and the contributing other person for the sake of that kid's peace of mind as to how they came to be. Another thing that's being swept under the table for the sake of fashionability. Sorry, fashionability and posterity are two completely different things. And so, Ben Carson said that being gay is a choice. It is. He said, I was a little bit irritated that actually on CNN, he was reacting to CNN host Chris Cuomo's line of questioning on the issue. I was irritated that he was equating the whole gay marriage issue with the civil rights movement because, quite frankly, I didn't remember any times when there were signs up that said, you know, everybody else here and gay people have to drink at this fountain. To correlate and to give some sort of equality with gay rights and civil rights is not just irritating. It is laughably ignorant on its face.
Quite frankly, I didn't remember any times when there were signs up that says, you know, everybody else here and gay people have to drink at this fountain. I was a little irritated.
I bet he was. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a black person my age, 57, being a black person in the United States of America, okay, that could go back in his own family's recent past and remember a time when one of their ancestors could not eat at a restaurant because of the color of their skin. Listening to somebody try to equate a couple of people of the same gender wanting to be able to marry and say that's the same thing. Are you flipping joking? Are you kidding? So Dr. Ben Carson is being run through the media mill because he doesn't have the correct, quote unquote, politically correct answer, like George Pataki, who said, well, I would never say anything like that because I'm a professional politician and I'm trying to hornswoggle people into voting for me. As opposed to Ben Carson, who's saying, I find that repugnant and I find it offensive because it's repugnant and offensive. And I don't care how many people in the United States media say that this is just the new reality and anybody who doesn't get with it is a bigot. Yeah, okay, so obviously Dr. Ben Carson's a bigot then, huh? Yeah, it's absurd. And more of it's next on the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
So what would have been the big topics of the week but for McKinney? 2016 campaign developments, ISIS advances, a key trade agreement, making strange political bedfellows. Tell you what, we can do all of that and more with 5 total Friday morning hours. Join me 5 to 8 on Morning in America, then 8 to 10 for Texas. Gets us into a warm weekend in style. We'll be looking for you.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
The stock market is at record highs, but will it keep going up, or are we due for another major correction? The financial newspapers are reporting that record numbers of major investors are leaving the market. If you're worried about the roller coaster stock market, there are some alternative ways to grow your money and build a solid, predictable retirement. The team at Guardian Financial Management will show you how to grow your money and still sleep well at night. Tune in to Plain Talk, No Worries, Financial Hour each Sunday at 7 a.m. on 660 AM. The Answer.
I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. Next month, we're celebrating Independence Day. When the fireworks go off this year, I want you to think about one thing: how Jesus freed us from the power of sin. The day you surrendered your life to Jesus and accepted his free gift, you were made independent from sin and became dependent on him as your righteousness. I want you to assign a sin to every explosion. Boom! There goes that failure. Boom! There goes that shortcoming. Boom! There goes the sin that'll happen tomorrow. Those of us who put our faith in Jesus as our only righteousness has reason to really celebrate. You live on a fallen planet and you war against your old nature. But the truth is, your old nature and this planet has no rule over you. For the one that the Son has made free is free indeed. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The word of the month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
20 years of credit counseling and debt management services. More than 36,000 program members freed from credit card debt. Nearly $100 million saved in high interest and finance charges. It's Trinity's 20th anniversary, and these are just a few of the milestones we're celebrating as we begin our third decade of helping people become debt-free for keeps. Did you know that members who complete our program save on average more than $20,000 in interest?
My name is Mike. From the very first phone call, Trinity brought us relief by stopping all the late fees and collections calls, greatly reducing our interest and consolidating our bills into one easy-to-manage monthly payment. Now we're on track to save nearly $17,000 in finance charges. Happy 20th anniversary, Trinity. Thanks for helping so many save so much.
And Trinity can help you too. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 21 days by calling 1-800-528-5588. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 21-day in-home trial. 1-800-528-5588. That's 1-800-528-5588.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Let me get to Jim in Denton, Texas. Hi, Jim. How are you?
John David, I'm doing good. I don't see a civil rights issue here with gay marriage.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, these people have the same rights that I have. The definition of marriage is a union between a man and woman.
Sure.
So they can marry any consenting person of the opposite sex they want to.
Exactly.
They have the same rights I have.
And not only that, Jim, but you can't marry a man either.
I wouldn't want to. Thank you very much.
Neither would I.
But I don't see a civil rights issue.
There is no civil rights issue. This is a myth.
Yeah.
And Dr. Ben Carson, in his soft-spoken, very, very acerbic, very factually based communication, said so. And he's being run through the mill of the mainstream media. Now, the good news about this is that in order for it to be successful, in order for it to be effective, we, the people of the United States, have to believe it, which is the basis of my message here. My message is that if we keep electing these polished and manufactured political candidates, we're going to keep getting what we get. It's time for us to change that, especially insofar as this government is doing its absolute dead level best to distance itself from the Constitution as much as possible because that instrument, that document keeps them from running amok.
Oh, absolutely. And these people need to be changed. So we need to turn out in force at the primaries and bring up a good candidate.
Yes, we do, Jim. And that is the work that we also do here on the Wells Report. We do two things. We give you the news. We give you the facts. I give you commentary on those facts, and then we discuss what happens. We discuss what they mean. Okay? The other thing we do is we put people that are constitutional conservatives, people that will not buy into the fact that the Constitution of the United States is something that can be formed at will by a political party for the sake of their agenda. And I don't care what political party you're talking about. Big government Republican crap is no better than big government Democrat crap. If it's a big government issue, it will be done far worse, incompetently as we allow the government to grow in size. So the bigger the government, the more incompetence. The only way that you can keep competence at bay in the United States government is to keep the government at bay, to reduce the amount of damage it can do. Al Gore said famously, Jim, he said, these dang Tea Party guys want to reduce the size of American government to something that can be drowned in a bathtub. And he's exactly right. Because if you can keep the government to the size that can be drowned in a bathtub, you're only going to screw up one bathroom. If the government is big enough so that you can only drown it in the Pacific Ocean, well, it screws up an entire Pacific Ocean. See what I mean? Who can do this? Which political faction of the United States government cares about an $18.5 trillion debt? Tea Party conservatives. Which faction of American politics cares about whether or not the government has too much power? Tea Party conservatives. Which part of the American government wants to stand up for the Bill of Rights so that we actually have them to hand off to our children, oh yeah, for our posterity? Tea Party constitutional conservatives. The way to your next vote is clear, in my opinion. How about yours? This is the Wells Report.
Hey folks, Mike Krejci here, sales manager of 660 AM The Answer. If you are a business owner, I want to talk specifically to you. If you were listening to our station over the last few days, you'll know that we've been supporting one of our favorite charities, Cure International, by offering our Business Benefactor Program. We've had some terrific businesses step up to support the cause, but we need a few more to join in. We are trying to heal kids in Haiti who were born with a condition known as clubfoot. Your gift will help heal a child so they can run, dance, and play, and have a chance at a normal life. 100% of this gift goes to help these children. Here's how the Business Benefactor Program works. Your business donates $2,800 to Cure International, and in exchange, you'll get an advertising campaign to run on 660 AM The Answer during the next 90 days absolutely free. So you'll be helping your business and these kids all at the same time. Call me today to get started. My number is 214-561-9103. That's 214-561-9103. One more time, 214-561-9103. Thank you.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. WalkeraC.com.
Dentist office, may I help you?
Hi, I'd like to cancel my teeth whitening appointment.
Oh, Oh, may I ask why?
I found a teeth whitener that works in 5 minutes that I can do from home.
Can I ask what it is?
It's called Power Swabs, and it whitens your teeth in 5 minutes, doesn't leave my teeth feeling sensitive, and it's a lot less expensive than visiting the dentist.
Hi, I'm John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if you want to whiten your teeth 2 shades in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days, then try Power Swabs. There's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth and you're done. It removes stains on natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. Try Power Swabs risk-free by calling 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. I guarantee your friends and coworkers will be wowed by your new white smile. Try it risk-free and get free shipping and handling today. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I can tell you all day how great the new Venture on Wall Street seminars are, and oh, I will. But let me let Caleb and Lonell share their story. They wrote to Pastor David Mitchell and said, "We're so glad we went to the new Venture on Wall Street seminars. I was able to be successful enough to enable my wife to fire her boss because that was one goal we had. We wanted to be more self-sufficient. They did a month of trading, made about $9,000. This is something that'll happen. Things will go up, things will go down, but they are smarter on Wall Street. They're having a better time. They're going to retire earlier. They're getting a second income stream, and this is the kind of thing that can happen to you." I love these folks at New Venture on Wall Street. It is upbeat, it's exciting, and they're in Addison and Fort Worth, June 19th and 20th. Get into these seminars today at 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. Learn more at nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. It's a great, great plan to get into a seminar and learn how to do better in your financial future. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
Flo from Progressive here on the road with Gail. Tell us about yourself, Gail.
I'm the proud owner and operator of Paws for Style mobile dog grooming.
Clever. Did you know that with Progressive Commercial Auto Insurance, you can save money with discounts like Safe Driver, Business Experience, and Paid in Full?
Sure do.
Well, did you know that I am fluent in dog?
No.
That means I wish my tail was made of bacon.
Discounts to help your business save. Visit Progressive.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Your local pharmacist is also a Health Mart pharmacist, and they're not like other pharmacists.
After Mom's surgery, I was overwhelmed, but I was so relieved. Her Health Mart pharmacist was there to help. They explained her medication and even delivered to her house. Mom got the personal service she needed, and I got something even better. Peace of mind.
Visit healthmart.com to find a locally owned Health Mart pharmacy near you. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. 866-660-5759, our telephone number. Ben Carson is being run through the media mill, and he doesn't deserve it, but then again, he jumped into it. Remember that all of this only has power if we give it that power. If you keep doing what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. I'm ready for real change, not some political concocted fantasy land of change that damages America, its power, and its prestige. I'm talking about an American government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people, not of the party, by the party, and for the party. We are certainly educated to the point by watching all of this falderall for the last 50 years. We're certainly educated, or ought to be, that the people involved in the current status of affairs of this government are not the people that we need to change it. They don't want to change it. They go in as successful businessmen, successful executives, successful people, and come out millionaires. That's not what the government is for. The government is for us. They work for us. They are our employees. And we need to ask people who want to be our employees to run for government. And we need to only elect those employees whom we know. The next time a candidate comes to your door knocking as he's walking through his campaign to be elected or her campaign to be elected, have a conversation. If they're able to impress you to the point where you feel like you know them and you know what they want to do and what's in their heart, and you think that they'd be the right person for the job, by all means, vote for them. If not, don't. Don't vote for them. Don't do it. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Dr. Ben Carson, in this CNN interview with this blonde anchor who kept raking him over the coals after he'd answer the question. By the way, you know what his answer was when it came to discrimination? He said that the American government should protect everyone equally. Yes. Isn't that strange? And of course, this anchor person had no idea what he just said. The great liberal unicorn of egalitarian mediocrity was thrown right back in her face, and she missed it. What do you mean the government should treat everyone without discrimination? What are you talking about? See, that's what awaits us. These people that are not smooth, like Ben Carson, they're not smooth, and that's good. These people that are real, honest-to-goodness heavyweights are going to be able to run these ridiculous media idiots into giant walls made of polished marble, and their skulls will literally crack, and it will be incredibly entertaining if we have the wit to understand what's going on. I'm so impressed with Dr. Ben Carson. By the way, somebody else impressed me today, Carly Fiorina. She was on Brett Baer's special report, and she took questions, foreign policy, politics, and so on, and she was brilliant. All right? She was brilliant. Keep your eyes on Carly Fiorina. All right, so this requires a little story here, but there's an important question at the end of it. So listen. Carol Brown needed to defend herself from a violent ex-husband. She knew that in order to defend herself, she was going to need something besides a piece of paper signed by a very stern judge. By golly, if this ex-husband of yours comes in your yard, we will arrest him and spank him. And this piece of paper will tell him that. So if he shows up, you show him this. She knew that this guy was so violent that really what she needed to show him was the business end of a really good Sig Sauer P226, which was redundant because Sig Sauer P226s are brilliant pistols. She knew that a court order was not going to defend her, that what she needed was a flippin' gun. And so, in her home in New Jersey, she started dutifully doing all the paperwork necessary to be able to have a weapons permit. That paperwork, by the way, has yet to be acted on. Well, all she has to do is be patient, right? No, because Michael Eitel showed up at her New Jersey home last week and stabbed her to death. Oh, he's in big trouble. There was a restraining order against him when he stabbed her and stabbed her and stabbed her until she died. She was killed in her driveway, probably showing this murderous scum. The restraining order that he violated in killing her dead. Oh, make no mistake, they have him in custody. He was arrested, and the restraining order will be a big part of his trial. And indeed, it may be an aggravating circumstance, and it may indeed cause him to be sentenced to death, which is a sentence which will go unexecuted because the state of New Jersey is gutless when it comes to actually doing something about people like Carol Brown being stabbed to death in her driveway. She applied for her gun permit on April 21st. She went to the Berlin Township Police Chief, Leonard Check. She went to the police department 2 days before her death to check on the status of her languishing application. By the way, Brown was really working hard at trying to protect herself. She installed surveillance cameras around her home. The equipment recorded the murder as she arrived home and got out of her car. Carol Brown is dead because Berlin Township Police Chief Leonard Check wanted to make sure she had a good reason to have a gun. He just doesn't want anybody in Berlin Township to be able to carry a weapon. Got to keep this place safe, you know. New Jersey's gun laws are among the nation's strictest. Law-abiding citizens are eligible to purchase and possess handguns after filling out forms available at their local police stations, submitting to a background check that would look at their criminal history or mental health issues. They've got to give their fingerprints and pay a fee. Once those steps are taken, local police conduct a 14-point investigation, and then the chief is supposed to approve or deny for cause within 30 days. April 21st, June 8th, April 21st, June 8th. Is that more than 30 days? That's more than 30 days, isn't it? You know,
it's more than 60 days.
Yeah, it's more than 60 days, isn't it? So this guy essentially became an accessory to Carol Brown's murder times 2. Is that right? Now, we have to do all of those things to have a concealed weapons permit. But once we check off all those boxes, the state of Texas shall issue that concealed weapons permit. Shall issue, not may issue. Gun rights advocates in New Jersey say it's not unusual for Garden State police chiefs to take several months to approve handgun permits for qualified applicants. Well, congratulations, Chief. Chief Check. You've got blood on your hands. The blood of Carol Brown. The gun law's intention is to be as difficult and cumbersome as possible, said Alexander Robian, president of the New Jersey Second Amendment Society. They all need to be repealed. The system is so outdated. In most states, you go to the store, you get a background check, you purchase a weapon. A police chief would have no part of the process. That woman had a legitimate issue, and no one helped her. By the way, Itel, who had done time on kidnapping on a kidnapping conviction and had repeatedly threatened Brown, began shortly after the murder and ended Saturday when he was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot in another ex-girlfriend's garage.
The tragic murder of Carol Brown shows there are sensible changes we should make to public safety laws to help people protect themselves. This legislation will make sure that those who need protection most are given priority when it comes to the lengthy process of applying for a firearms permit. The Constitution of the United States specifies that we, the people of the United States, have the right to keep and bear arms. The people who are responsible for Carol Brown not being able to satisfy that constitutional right have blood on their hands, and they are traitors. Traitors. One of those traitors is Chris Christie. Is it not? I like Chris Christie. I've actually met the man. He's a good guy. But he can't read the Constitution. His regard for the Bill of Rights is dictated by politics. And in my view, disqualifies him for the office he's apparently trying to seek. Oh, yeah, he can go back to New Jersey. He can get reelected again. He can stand up there and puff out his chest and say, you know, doggone it, we need to do something about these archaic gun laws because Carol Brown is dead and she shouldn't be. Or she at least should have had a fighting chance in her own driveway as her blood trickles into the street. And he might even be successful. But Carol Brown's still going to be dead. Now, I hope at some point that Chris Christie sits right over there and tells me why I vote for him for president. And as soon as he does, as soon as he sits down, and as soon as he makes his statement on the Who's Next project, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask him about Carol Brown. And I'm going to say, how'd you get those bloodstains off your hands? He may get up in a huff and he may walk out. He may get, I may see flashes of that famous Chris Christie temper of his. And he will say that it's a very serious political process to be able to fix this stuff in New Jersey. And I'll simply say, you're the governor, aren't you? The Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights, they're just more than talk show topics. You know what they are? They represent get-out-of-death-free cards. Do you still want yours? This is the Wells Report.
With everything going on, Bill Bennett doesn't understand the president's approval rating.
Losing ground with ISIS. The economy still has not recovered. Race relations are worse. Crime is going up. Not many signs of serious recovery, more pessimism about the future. I think its approval rating ought to be 0, but it's 47%.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Greg Thornberry of the King's College in New York for townhall.com. There's been so much talk over the past few years of how America just cannot continue to be the world's policeman. You hear it from media leaders and political leaders on both the right and the left. We need to take care of problems here at home first. You could label it leadership fatigue or a resurgence of that brand of isolationism that runs throughout the nation's history. But whatever you think of FIFA and international soccer, it's worth pointing out that it took the strength of the U.S. Justice Department to address and change what has long been known to be a highly corrupt enterprise. The point is this: the world needs American leadership, and there's a price to pay as we abdicate that role. We see it in the rise of ISIS in Iraq and Syria. We see it in Putin's expansionist Russia and in the nuclear ambitions of Iran. This is no time for America to willingly set aside our superpower status. I'm Greg Thornberry.
In national financial news, a limited number of 2015 U.S. Silver Eagle dollars are now available at an introductory price too low to reveal on the radio. In a moment, we'll provide the toll-free number to call. The Silver Eagle is the largest and purest U.S. silver dollar ever struck. 1 ounce of pure silver, and is the only silver coin guaranteed by the U.S. government for its weight and purity. Over the years, the Silver Eagle has been one of the world's most popular and widely collected silver coins. From time to time, the U.S. Mint has even suspended production during periods of exceptionally high demand. Demand for the 2015 Silver Eagle is expected to be intense, especially at the shockingly low introductory price, forcing a strict limit of just 10 per household. To claim a share of these Silver Eagles and receive a free collector's guide, interested individuals are encouraged to call now. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706.
Save this date, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report here for Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. June 25th at 6:30 could be the day and time that you take the first step in learning how to manage your investments. Simply make plans to join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas. No fuss, no hassle, great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service. They know you've worked hard for your money. Getting the information you need to help you choose how to invest it is the next step. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in North Dallas, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or register by logging on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Summer is here, and many of you will be experiencing air conditioning issues. The Good Contractors List is here to protect you from the air conditioning companies that upsell and take advantage of homeowners when their systems break down. We've hand-selected the most honest and affordable air conditioning companies in DFW, and we back their work with our own $10,000 guarantee. They've all agreed to offer a free second opinion if you're being told you need to replace your equipment. Find guaranteed contractors from every field at thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and I'm here to warn you about a coming invasion.
Invasion of the Storm Chasers.
Yep. It's storm season, the time when everyone and their brother thinks they can be a contractor, and thousands of out-of-towners swarm the DFW area to capitalize on damages caused by storms. You don't ever have to fall prey to a storm chaser. Go to thegoodcontractorslist.com and find local home services backed by our $10,000 guarantee.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Now, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and very few people know that I spent the first several years of my life in corrective shoes. My feet wrapped themselves around my lower legs, and I was close to having club feet or club foot, which is a congenital deformity that severely twists the foot downward and inward, making walking very difficult. So when I had a chance to talk to you about Cure International and their project to get rid of clubfoot in Haiti, I said, you know, I have a pretty good idea what that's like. Here's Scott Reichenbach, the operations director of Cure Clubfoot in Haiti, describing methods used to correct this very curable issue.
Cure Clubfoot works around the world in 17 different countries, treating children born with clubfoot using the Ponseti method. The Ponseti method is a simple method of casting the foot on a weekly basis to put it into correct alignment so that the child can walk, run, and play as any other child would.
If you donate $2,800 to Cure International, you can qualify for the business benefactor. That's right. We'll give you an advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer absolutely free. If you'd like, I will voice that campaign for you. All you got to do is call my dear friend Mike Krejci at 214-561-2164. That's 214-561-2164 to get started with your advertising campaign. $2,800 saves 7 kids from Clubfoot. You only have today and tomorrow. It'll do your heart a lot of good. You're listening to The Wells Report.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-454-8621.
U.S. Tax Shield. Hoorah. Yes.
800-454-8621. 800-454-8621.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-2629. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-2629. 1-800-700-2629.
Our sister station,
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25. Nothing brings home the memories like the official Celebrate Freedom 25 t-shirt. Just go to CelebrateFreedom.com and find the perfect package for your family. Get the sticker, the VIP seating pass, the poster, and more.
Sponsored by Cornerstone Staffing.
It's your day. It's your fun. It's your Celebrate Freedom 25. CelebrateFreedom.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. Authorities in upstate New York believe 2 convicted killers are hiding near the prison from which they escaped.
People need to realize the geographic uniqueness of where these people popped up through the manhole cover. When they looked around, all they saw were very, very rural mountainous areas where there are numerous types of wildlife up here, large hunting community, and if their ride didn't show up, they're stranded.
Clinton County Sheriff David Favreau, the prisoners on the run for nearly a week. The case of 2 white Cleveland police officers who killed a black boy holding a pellet gun will go to a grand jury.
The judge says there's probable cause to charge Officer Timothy Lohman, a rookie, with multiple counts, including murder, and to charge his partner, Frank Garbach, with reckless homicide or dereliction of duty. But the judge can't compel prosecutors to file charges.
Fox News Radio's Lisa Brady. Fox News. We report, you decide.
.660 AM, The Answer. The Mike Gallagher Show.
On the next Mike Gallagher Show, I'll be away. My dear friend and guest host Mike Cinto will be filling in. And if you didn't agree with my position regarding the McKinney, Texas police officer, well, guess what? Mike Cinto has a decidedly different view from mine. He'll tackle that as well as all the day's headlines, take your call, talk about breaking news, and, of course, deliver a fantastic talk show.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon. On 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey folks, Mike Krejci here, sales manager of 660 AM The Answer. If you are a business owner, I want to talk specifically to you. If you were listening to our station over the last few days, you'll know that we've been supporting one of our favorite charities, Cure International, by offering our Business Benefactor Program. We've had some terrific businesses step up to support the cause, but we need a few more to join in. We are trying to heal kids in Haiti who are born with a condition known as clubfoot. Your gift will help heal a child so they can run, dance, and play and have a chance at a normal life. 100% of this gift goes to help these children. Here's how the Business Benefactor Program works. Your business donates $2,800 to Cure International, and in exchange, you'll get an advertising campaign to run on 660 AM The Answer during the next 90 days, absolutely free. So you'll be helping your business and these kids all at the same time. Call me today to get started. My number is 214-561-9103. That's 214-561-9103. One more time, 214-561-9103. Thank you.
There's nothing like foundations in the springtime. Oh, it's a time of change. Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. And with drought and then moisture and then cold and then warm temperatures, your foundations are moving and grooving. You got cracks in the sheetrock and doors that are sticking and all kinds of problems. You want someone who's going to solve them reliably. Call my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. They've done stuff for me, and you will love how they put somebody on site for your entire foundation repair. They're the only people with Millennium composite pilings. You're going to get a warranty that you can hand down to other homeowners. It's peace of mind and security for your foundation repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Don't be one of those homeowners that says, oh, I wish I'd called a better company. Call the best company right now. Abacus Foundation Repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
In the early 60s, Dolores and Ray Butcher and their 3 daughters earned a trip to Disneyland by collecting S&H green stamps. It was a dream come true. Today, nearly everyone has a wallet or keychain full of loyalty reward cards that they use for discounts, gifts, and even free dinners at their favorite restaurants. For years, an international company has been offering a universal loyalty rewards card in Europe. We call it the Blue Card, one card to replace dozens. The Blue Card offers discounts up to 5% cash back. It even accumulates points to shop at participating merchants and an online mall. Today, they're looking for independent representatives to launch this card in the U.S. and Canada. It is free to get the card and free to become a representative. You could help launch the Blue Card in your area and get paid wherever it is used. Imagine you could be paid every time someone fills their gas tank, buys groceries, orders an airline ticket, or purchases just about anything.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-919-8949 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-919-8949. 1-800-919-8949. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
If you missed the last free Money Matters retirement seminar, you can't afford to miss this one. This event was designed specifically for people that are retired or retiring soon. Get a current analysis of what to do in today's market. Learn to diversify your portfolio, how to protect yourself from the next stock market crash, and much more. Choose 1 p.m. Saturday, June 20th in Plano, Thursday, June 25th in the Alliance Gateway area, and Tuesday, June 30th in Denton. Register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Solving European Sleep Systems. Are you aware that your current mattress may contain a toxic little secret? Most mattresses contain flame retardant chemicals that have been linked to serious health risks like infertility, low IQ scores, behavioral problems in children, and all sorts of cancers. So if you find this disturbing and you'd prefer not to sleep in toxic soup, take a trip to Solving European Sleep Systems. Their mattresses are third-party certified as free of harmful chemicals. Solvent European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I have a list of professional athletes that I want to go over with you. Kevin Allen, former Philadelphia Eagle, sexual assault. Josh Brent, Dallas Cowboys, intoxication manslaughter. Let's see. Thomas Hollywood Henderson, sexual assault. Aaron Hernandez, first-degree murder. Let's see, what else? David Meggett of the Giants, Patriots, and Jets, criminal sexual conduct. Eric Naposki, first-degree murder. Let's see. Darren Sharper, rape. Let's see. Nate Webster, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. And Keith Wright. Adrian Peterson, whipping his son.
So what? Yeah.
Ray Rice, domestic violence. And I think that also there was a murder beef with that, right? Ray Rice, former Baltimore
You're thinking
Raven.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. I'm sorry, Ray Lewis, not Ray Rice. There's a name missing. Name some other people that were, Magic, name some other people that were busted by the NFL in the last couple of years for domestic violence. I'm leaving out a couple. There's a name missing from the list. One of them is Hope Solo. You know who she is? Hope Solo? Hope Solo is the U.S. goalkeeper for the U.S. women's soccer team. She's 5'9". She weighs 150 pounds. Nearly a year ago, she beat her half-sister and nephew in an ongoing case that has not been resolved. That she beat up her half-sister and nephew is really not something that is up for discussion from a standpoint of, did she actually do it? Yeah, she actually did it. Did you see her name splattered all over every sports show in the last, year? About domestic violence and going to jail or getting probation or something? You didn't, did you? Christine Brennan is a writer for USA Today Sports. Christine is an accomplished sports journalist. She wonders why Hope Solo is still the goalkeeper for the U.S. women's soccer team. Because she is, without doubt, a domestic violator. Ms. Brennan writes, the renowned U.S. women's soccer team, which has historically stood for what's best in sports and the best of us, is now protecting, even promoting, a domestic abuser. 9 months after our nation embarked on a conversation about the horrors of domestic violence, a topic that carries on to this day in the NFL, U.S. Soccer President Sunil Gulati and the Federation's other leaders continue to fail to take domestic abuse by women seriously. By doing nothing when the issue first arose, Gulati ensured that it would come to a head at the worst possible time during the Women's World Cup. The U.S. is preparing to play Sweden in the second round of group play. On Thursday afternoon, Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut released a letter sent to Gulati, calling for U.S. Soccer to conduct a thorough investigation into this incident. In the interim, I urge U.S. Soccer to reconsider Hope Solo's position as an active member of Team USA. As boys and girls tune into Friday's game, watching the women on TV as role models, it sends exactly the wrong message to start Hope Solo at goal. There's a problem. Without Hope Solo at goal, the U.S. national women's soccer team doesn't have a chance. Solo was arrested last June, charged with punching her 17-year-old nephew in the face and tackling him during an argument. The teen's mother told ESPN that Solo grabbed him by the head and she kept slamming him into the cement over and over and over. The teen's mother, by the way, is her half-sister. When she tried to intervene, Solo attacked her. When the police showed up, the nephew's T-shirt was torn. He had scratch marks on his arm and a bleeding cut in his ear. U.S. soccer team and its supporters will no doubt blame Blumenthal. That is Senator Richard Blumenthal. They will no doubt blame Blumenthal and so on and so forth and the news media for creating the controversy at the worst possible time. But 100% of the blame for this debacle should fall at the feet of Gulati, who's never taken the Solo news seriously enough. Gulati and U.S. Soccer were shown the way by the NFL after the Rice elevator video surfaced. In fact, Teresa Obert, Solo's half-sister, told ESPN that neither she nor her son was contacted by U.S. Soccer. As comparison, the WNBA got the message. It suspended both Brittany Griner and Glory Johnson for 7 games each after their domestic violence arrests in April. Gulati, the man, has been so vocal in voicing his concern for transparency and modernity in the corrupt to the core FIFA investigation, blundered badly when he was given the chance to stand with the nation's most beloved and iconic women's team on an issue that is so vitally important for women. We on the Wells Report have spoken about high school teams with ineligible players. As a matter of course, every time it comes up, we stand up and we say this is bad and this is terrible and this is awful and people ought to go to jail. And people say this is bad and this is awful and they flinch away from sending people to jail, including the players that took part. Yes, I understand that men beating up women and beating up children and so on and so forth requires an important response by society. But I'm trying to figure out why, in an age where due process of law holds no sway with commissioners and sanctioning bodies and so on and so forth of major sports organizations, And people making a living in a very short and tenuous career of of athletic brilliance are immediately taken out of the games and thus out of the paychecks that they negotiated for by virtue of the fact that I don't care what the law says. I'm the commissioner of the NFL, and I, Roger Goodell, will do whatever I choose. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Roger Goodell. I like what he's done. Are there cracks in the armor? Sure. Is he a little inconsistent? Uh-huh. But at least he's trying. Hope Solo works as a part of USA Soccer, and because she's so incredibly talented, nobody is going to call her on punching her sister out and beating her nephew. This Galati guy, he's the commissioner. He can do whatever he wants. But he doesn't. Because he wants the women's team to win. So what does he do? You see, it's this accountability thing. Let me ask it this way. Which is worse? A woman hitting a kid in the head or a man hitting a kid in the head? Which is worse? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Which is worse? Well, obviously the man, because he's stronger and faster. Okay. 5'9", 150. Bony little girl fists. That really hurt when they hit you? Man. Susan's never hit me, but my sister had on several occasions and was very, very good at hitting me in the shoulders and really hurting me with those bony little girl fists. I'm okay now. This double standard is the first thing I think about when I keep hearing about the absolute necessity of equality in the United States between the genders. I don't have any problem whatsoever with equality between the genders, as long as there's equality between the genders. And guess what? I'm not seeing a lot of that. Are you? So look, if it's a bad thing that big-time athletes beat their domestic family members, it doesn't really make any difference what gender's doing it, right? And which is more important, the women's team winning in the world, or whether justice is done on an equal basis? Which is which? Which is it? This is the Wells Report.
This is Greg Thornberry of the King's College in New York for townhall.com. There's been so much talk over the past few years of how America just cannot continue to be the world's policeman. You hear it from media leaders and political leaders on both the right and the left. We need to take care of problems here at home first. You could label it leadership fatigue or a resurgence of that brand of isolationism that runs throughout the nation's history. But whatever you think of FIFA and international soccer, it's worth pointing out that it took the strength of the U.S. Justice Department to address and change what has long been known to be a highly corrupt enterprise. The point is this: the world needs American leadership, and there's a price to pay as we abdicate that role. We see it in the rise of ISIS in Iraq and Syria. We see it in Putin's expansionist Russia and in the nuclear ambitions of Iran. This is no time for America to willingly set aside our superpower status. I'm Greg Thornberry.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis, My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. walkerac.com.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on, but really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for joining us here on 660 AM, The Answer. Look, I don't know Hope Solo. I'm not someone who is blind to the realities that talent brings to a given enterprise. I guess there's a middle ground between the complete lack of a response by a major sanctioning body regarding the domestic abuse of family members by one of its players and the dramatic response on the same issue from the NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In point of fact, women are treated differently in this society. And that's by and large okay. Right up to the point where you start beating other people up. I don't often agree with Christine Brennan. I think Christine Brennan is militant in this particular issue, but she's correct. And at least she's being even-handed this time. It's good to know that her support of women in big-time professional sports stops at the very insidious water's edge of the polluted body of water that is domestic violence. I'm glad she's doing that. But there's a bigger issue here. And I guess it comes as I writhe under the weight of a society that minimizes the accomplishments of men in favor of the minority of the day, or the gender of the day, or the changing gender of the day, or whatever it happens to be today. I'm tired of being minimized simply because of the color of my skin, or my age, or my gender. Which means that, as we were discussing with Dr. Ben Carson, the government of the United States, the society of the United States, shouldn't discriminate against anyone for any reason. That is the true equality that we keep hearing that the left is after. But that's not what the left is after. This talk of there must be equality, there must be equality, there must be equality, the talk of all of that is simply a predicate in the big, gigantic conversation of, now how can we divide these people so that we can set one group against the other for the sake of crafting whatever votes we can glean from the mill. All I'm saying is this. Look, I've got no problems whatsoever with equality as long as that's what's actually happening. But that's not what's actually happening. What we're doing is we're carving out advantages. And we're carving out advantages, some justified and some not. And in the case of a big-time female athlete beating up her sister and her nephew, we're talking or not. And there should be equality in this. Should there not be? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes you must think about your kids first.
I can't really put myself in a place of, if my father had become a woman, how I would have reacted. Or for that matter, the thought on my children if I became a woman. There's a lot more in life than my happiness. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it, but there was a lot more in life than my own pursuit of happiness.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When our daughter Emma was born, we took a look at our credit card debt. It was not a good situation. We had been running up balances for quite some time, and it became a crisis. Finally, my wife Vicki said, call Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
We called them, they contacted all of our creditors, they stopped the collections calls, they got the interest reduced, and they put us on a plan for success.
Trinity will consolidate your bills, stop collections calls, wipe out late fees, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We are now completely debt-free, and we will never be in the spot we were again, thanks to Trinity.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is John.
I'm Vicki. And I'm Emma. And we're debt-free for keeps.
That's 1-800-990-6976.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
If you're retired or retiring soon and not happy with your investment strategy or the advice you've been given, I want to invite you to get a free second opinion. This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show. To register for a free financial portfolio review, go to moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
Ken was quoted in MarketWatch. Clients that followed his advice were out of the stock market for all of 2008. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
He is a talk radio superstar. His name is Mark Davis. He's also my teammate, and he shows up tomorrow morning at 5 and will stay on the air until 10 a.m. Anyway, the way this works is that he's on for 3 hours for Dr. Bill Bennett on the Salem Radio Network, and then he spends 2 hours with us to finish up the week. Mark Davis, what have you got planned for us tomorrow?
Hey, JD, good Thursday evening. As a talk show guy, think about this. What would have been the big topics of the week if McKinney hadn't happened? 2016 campaign stuff, ISIS advances, this key trade agreement making strange political bedfellows, maybe that crazy New York prison break. Well, tell you what, we'll do all of that and more tomorrow morning because, heck, we got 5 hours. Join me 5 to 8 on Morning in America, then 8 to 10 for Texas. Get you into the warm weekend in style. We'll be looking for you. Mark Davis tomorrow morning, 5 till 10 on 660 AM The Answer.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that, Mark. I'll look forward to your broadcast tomorrow morning. It's tough to be a U.S. government whistleblower. It's really tough. It's really tough to be a U.S. government whistleblower. Taylor Johnson is finding that out. She's a senior special agent in the Homeland Security Investigations Division of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. She's been testifying at a Senate hearing alongside other whistleblowers from several other agencies who claim to have faced similar harassment. She talks about, and she testified about, retaliation against her for probing a controversial visa program and the retaliation was so extensive, she was told she could not carry or own a personal weapon. Taylor Johnson investigated the so-called EB-5 program, which offers visas to investors. She said she looked into the program over concerns about security risks, questioning whether visas were being approved with little scrutiny. The visas, by the way, were being approved with little scrutiny. Johnson said her managers began to hear complaints about her queries. Soon, she was removed from the investigation, and the case was closed. What happened next? According to Johnson, in her testimony before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, her weapon and credentials were taken. Her government vehicle was confiscated. Her access to the building where she worked and government databases was all revoked. She was told she couldn't carry or own a personal weapon, which is a constitutional rights violation. She also asserted that when a social worker tried to verify her employment, the worker was told that Johnson had been terminated over a criminal offense. Okay. Choking up, Johnson testified, "I almost lost my 1-year-old child." You see, because the social worker was trying to figure out what was going on, and her boss said that she had been terminated over a criminal offense. A criminal offense, investigating an EB-5 program, fraud with corruption. When she points out the corruption, when she gets closer at her investigation, she is taken off the case. The case is closed. And then she faces humiliation. And then, of course, someone trying to figure out whether or not she's being a good mom to her kids finds out she was terminated over a criminal offense. That rush to judgment thing that we're talking about here. She was not terminated. Instead, she was told to report to another building that houses inmates and processes parolees. She said she was held hostage by her own agency. Agents and officers need to be valued by management, not punished when they disclose factual and important information to our leadership. Telling truth to power can get you into huge flipping trouble, especially in government situations. The Homeland Security Department says ICE does not restrict an individual's right to carry a personal firearm. That is up to the laws of the state where a person lives. But asked for comment on Taylor Johnson's claims, a DHS spokesman said they do not comment on specific personnel matters. The official stressed the department takes whistleblower protection very seriously and protects their rights to engage in protected activity, and apparently also to make their lives as difficult as humanly possible. But then again, that is part and parcel of being a whistleblower. The spokesperson continued, similarly, the department takes allegations of misconduct very seriously. Any allegations of misconduct are appropriately investigated, and any employee, regardless of rank or seniority, who has committed provable misconduct will be held accountable. When both an issue of misconduct and a claim of whistleblower protection occur, the department follows the law to resolve these issues appropriately. Sure. The EB-5 program has come under criticism before. Johnson was hardly the only official with questions about it. A recent Inspector General report concluded Homeland Security Deputy Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas violated ethics rules by intervening as the head of USCIS several times in EB-5 visa cases involving prominent Democrats. He has since said, I regret the perception of my own involvement created. Of course you do. DHS says now the EB-5 program is safer, more secure, thanks to changes over the last several years. Army Lieutenant Colonel Jason Amarine also testified that he was punished after speaking out on a dysfunctional bureaucracy holding back efforts to free American hostages overseas. He said after he made those disclosures to Congress, the Army suspended his clearance, removed him from his job, and tried to court-martial him. A former top official in the Social Security Administration also testified on the backlash he faced. Michael Keegan, a former associate commissioner for facilities and supply management, said he had concerns after being assigned in early 2012 to oversee a replacement computer data center funded by $500 million in taxpayer money. He said he raised the issue that while SSA was allegedly telling Congress it needed to replace its entire National Computer Center in Maryland, at most, only a part of it needed to be replaced, specifically the part housing the main data center. After he began raising concerns, Keegan says he was removed from his position and left to languish in empty office space. Nothing has been shown by SSA that I deserved this retaliation. Keegan last year also blew the whistle on another controversy, claiming officials at SSA tried to hide a damning report on a $300 million computer system in order to protect President Obama's nominee to lead the agency. Keegan said that he ended up retiring from the Social Security Administration earlier than he had planned, though he was not financially prepared to do so. He described the drain of staring at a wall, watching the clock tick, and characterized it as death by 1,000 cuts. The cost has been inordinate and enormous, he said. It's really, really hard to get human beings to do the right thing. It's really, really hard to get human beings to do the right thing in government positions, civil service, unions, bureaucracies. The reason is because the bureaucracy has to save itself. It's a very expensive way to do business, incredibly expensive, in fact. Part of the $18.5 trillion the United States is in debt is because of pure government waste at the hands of bureaucracies trying to save themselves. I have rightly pointed out that if you want to know about a sector of the American economy that is completely screwed up, you only need to travel to Washington, D.C., go inside the Beltway, and determine whether or not there is a government agency charged with regulating that particular industry or that particular sector. If there is a government agency doing such a thing, then you have found the source of the malfunction. Ronald Reagan said it best. Government can't solve the problem. Government is the problem. Again, how can you minimize, mitigate incompetence, malfeasance, corruption in government? How can you do that? Reduce the size of government. And that's all. Government is and always has been a blunt instrument. Those people who believe that a big government is best are oblivious to the fact that a big government cannot move with the agility and precision necessary to be able to do the things that it absolutely insists, under pain of violation of the Constitution, that it will or will not do. The government of the United States does a lot of very big, very simple things very, very well. Let me give you an example of one. In the 50s, President Eisenhower said, you know what we need in the United States? We need an interstate highway system. The entire country would be a completely different place if it wasn't for that amazing highway system that was envisioned and started and created by the Eisenhower administration. It's brilliant. Our highways, our ways to work would have been irrevocably different were it not for the fact that the interstate highway system actually existed. And for years, the interstate highway system was not just an amazing achievement, but it was a history-making conduit, not just from state to state, but it was a conduit of American liberty and freedom. Get on the road and drive anywhere you want. It's still there. Obviously, we use it every day. But it isn't the same because of the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. Have they done good work? Yeah, but not lately. No, lately, the NHTSA is more responsible for trying to figure out how to make us go slowly on freeways as opposed to going quickly on freeways. More interested in creating impossibilities for us to try to overcome in order to travel. They are responsible for creating messes when it comes to simple things that really need no government intervention whatsoever. But yet there we are, dealing with the stupidity of screwing up something that is really little more than concrete on ground being driven on by cars. The people that make this entire process worth a damn are people that are either whistleblowers or they are graceful in the political arts and are able to dance through all of the trials and tribulations without becoming whistleblowers, but still being able to affect change. The guy that does that the best, probably Donald Rumsfeld, that I can think of right offhand. These whistleblowers make our government better. To retaliate against them, again, is traitorous. I hope the government acts, and I hope these ruined lives are repaired. Don't you? This is the Wells Report.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Have you been looking for that new car or truck, feeling overwhelmed or stressed out by the process? Stop. Before you hit that dealership floor tomorrow morning, you need to listen